Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to take in the waist in pants in the easiest way you can, like everybody can do it. And remember that I have a tutorial where I show you how to do it professionally. So let's just keep working.
The materials you need for this are honestly super simple. You really just need 2 buttons, thread, a needle, a seam ripper, a measuring tape, and this special elastic.
This elastic comes with eyelets and you can find it at your local sewing supply store. But if you don't have it, don't worry. I'll show you later what you can do. Measure your pants waistband and add 3 inches and cut your elastic. So the waistband in these pants were 36. Now I'm cutting the elastic at 39 inches. And you will fold this line a little bit and sewing. You can do it by hand or you can do it by machine. Let's do it by machine. I guess that you don't really need this step, but I like it because it looks cleaner. I did already the same thing in this side, and notice that this one has the button holder. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about that. And guys, let me tell you before we go forward that this is not a proper job. I don't want you to say, oh, I don't know how to you do that. No, this is not professional or anything, but sometimes there are different reasons why you don't want to do the whole job. One of the reasons is that if your weight fluctuates, if it's for your children, or you just are lazy, because we can be lazy. Yeah, we have the right to. So, just a disclaimer. Then go to your pants and open 2 slots inside your waistband, close to each extreme. Mark a line in each side of the waistband. We will take this as a reference. Keep in mind that this is a very delicate process. Use your seam ripper to start the hole, and then after you have opened it a little bit, then take a scissor and be very, very careful. So I have my 2 sides with my 2 slots. I'm going to insert my elastic all the way in my waistband. If it has a label in the way, you just go ahead and remove them. And here you go. It's coming. So the next step, we will put just a button here. I'll use this too. So after I accommodate a little bit the elastic, I will sew the buttons. I will sew 1 button here and another button here. You see, in each side. If you don't need to take in too much, then will be better if you do this buttonhole a little bit more far from the edge, like there. Okay, so I will sew my buttons. So I'm gonna sew my button. When you sew these buttons, try to sew it a little bit loose. Don't sew it too tight because you want to have room to play. And that's my second button. So you are almost done. You are going to choose where you will feel comfortable, and then you will sew this one a little bit like that, or you can just leave it like that. But sometimes if you don't secure it, the problem is that you can lose that. You just secure it by hand a little bit. You can do it with a white thread so you don't see it. Now you might want to try on your pants to see how much of the elastic you really have extra, and then you will cut the excess, and then you will finish the other side the same way. So you can just move the elastic each time that you feel that you gain a little bit of weight, or you can make it a little tighter. It's up to you. Now, for example, we remove 2.5 inches, and when the customer have it on, you don't see it that much. If it's too much, then it doesn't look good. Now, what you're gonna do, you will finish the material at the hole. For that, you will finish by hand, and you will need to thread the needle in quadruple thread. You will do your little knot. The easiest way to do it is just to sew it with rounded motions like a spiral, like that. Then sew beside and then beside, and then you will keep doing this until you finish. This is not really right way to do it, but it's very easy, and anyways it's not like those jeans will be so damaged after. Like it really doesn't matter. Sometimes some people I've seen some friends that's so and they just open and leave it like that. So don't be too worried about that. As I said, this is not the cleanest, not the best, but it works. Then when you go to the edge, what you're gonna do, you will make 2 or 3 stitches long like that, and then you will start with your motion at the other side. As you can see, it's not the most beautiful thing you can do, but it will work, and it will work better if you use a matching thread. I am using this color because that way you can see what I'm doing. So when you arrive to the end, you will finish the same way you did with the other one, like that. And this one is done. If you want to do it in a, let's say, nicer way, more professional, you can use buttonhole stitches and they will look really, really good. Let me show you. So I will use my thread, again, quadruple. And what you are gonna do, you are going to stitch here in the very edge, you see, from your hole, and you will put the thread like that, and then you will do exactly the same motion that you did before, like that. Then you put again the thread like that, and you keep repeating until the whole thing is done. So when you go to the edge, you will do exactly as you did with the other one. You just do the long stitches. As you can see, this buttonhole, it will look much better than this one, but it will take a little bit more time. That's it. If you cannot get the elastic with the eyelet, you can use the regular elastic, and you will finish in a different way. You will use this hook and eye. You see these ones? And then what you're gonna do, you will fold the elastic and you will sew your hook like that, and you can use this little plate, and you will sew the plate to the jeans, and then with the elastic that will be like that, you just have to adapt to any size you like.
Sewing back the label. When sewing back the label, remember that this is a very delicate job. It can be done by hand or by machine. So first I'm going to show you how to do it by machine. First up, make sure that the length of stitch setting on your machine matches that of the original label. The key point is to sew over each hole. This is very important because these tags are usually made from leather, and it's not good to be poking lots of holes with leathers. I did it exactly in the same holes. Make sure to go slowly and be sure that you're being precise. You can't go too fast because it doesn't look so good when it's not well done. I'd say the corners are the most difficult. Make sure your machine can handle sewing leather. Now I'm going to show you how to sew it by hand. You need to take a bit of a different approach when sewing by hand. So you need this kind of needle that has a special tip designed for leather. Even with a strong needle, it might not be enough for leather. So this needle is not only strong, but sharp enough for leather. So you're going to need to quadruple thread your needle again, and then start your stitch where the hole is, and then go exactly where the next hole is. And then you're going to go back to the first hole just to reinforce it. And now you can start your next stitch 2 holes over. It's kind of difficult because it's super easy to forget where you're sewing, so just be very focused when doing this. So basically, after you start a new stitch, you go back and reinforce it, and then you start a new stitch and go back and reinforce it, and so on. Here I'm using a thimble for more comfort. I prefer to do this by machine, of course, but sometimes we don't have machines, so I wanted to show you how to do it by hand. And this is what it looks like on the back. I did the right side by hand and the left side by machine.
Well guys, that was all for today. If the customer is bloated, one day she wanted a little bit bigger, one day smaller, she can play with it. I hope that you like this video. If you like this video, please give us a like and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.